Welcome everyone, as we are sponsored in our tour through Masechta Zevachim by the Fisher family. Lili Nishmas Basia Bas Robert Shlomo Ben Avram Alevi Perel Bas Ruvain. Then Neshama should have an Aliyah. We're also sponsored Lili Nishmas David Ben Chaim L'Refu Shalema for Yomis Ben Chai Sarah Yaakov Ben Basi Leah for the schus of Avram Ben Yam Ben Ishmael Malki Yudis and family. We're sponsored by Yo Klugman and family for the Parnas Gzunta Nachas. We're sponsored L'Refu Shalema for Moshe Meir Ben Esther Fadel, Yitzhak Ben Tzim Ben Dusha, Victor Aye Ben Rivka in the Baschai Sarah. We're sponsored for L'Refu Shalema Rivka Bashira Leah, Chana Bashashabina and Meir Ben Chai Sarah. They should have L'Refu Shalema B'Soich Shar Chayla Yisrael. So now we know that there are certain chatas, sin offerings, that the blood is brought into the Kodesh, put on the Mizbeach Hazav and Keneged the Paroiches. Its emurim are offered up on the Mizbeach HaChitzon, and then it's taken and burnt outside of Yerushalayim. So Parim HaNisrafim, Useirim HaNisrafim, the bulls that are burnt and the goats that are burnt, Bisman shehin nisrafin k'mitzvasen, when they're burned properly. In other words, the avodah was done correctly. Nisrafin bebeis hadeshin, it's burnt in a special place of ash outside of Yerushalayim, and the one that burns it matamim begadim, he becomes tamei and his clothing becomes tamei. However, v'imeinon nisrafin k'mitzvasen. But if they weren't burned properly because the carbon got invalidated, let's say the blood spilled, they became tamei, then nisrafim bebeis habira, they are burnt on the temple complex, and it depends if they became disqualified in the Azara, they're burnt in a place in the Azara. If it became disqualified outside of the Azara, it's burnt in a place on the temple complex outside of the Azara, and the one that burns it doesn't become tamei, ve'enon mitamim begadim. Now, if the Parma Nisrafim and the Seirma Nisrafim were done ritually correct, they transported it with poles to outside of Yerushalayim. Now they only become tamei when they exit the Azara. So if there were 4 people transporting it, 2 at the front of the poles and 2 at the back of the poles, Yotzur Yishayim Chutz L'Chayma, when the those in the front were outside of the wall of the Azara, while Ha'achrayim Lo Yatzu, the back 2, was still in the Azara. Ha'rishayim Mitam Begadim, those that are outside become tamei. Va'achrayim, the ones that were behind, that were still in the Azara, Eina Mitam Begadim Achi Yetzu, until they get out. Yatzu Elu Ve'elu, once both of them leave, Elu Ve'elu Mitam Begadim. But that's the opinion of the Tanakama. Reb Shimon says they only become tamei when they burn the par or the sar. Reb Shimon Aimer, Elu ve'elu. In either case, Eina mitam begadim at sheyutza sa'ar beruban, until the fire catches on to the majority of the animal. Now, if the animal is already charred, then someone who is involved after that, nita rabasser, once it's charred, Eina sarif mitam begadim. Those that participate afterwards till it becomes ash, they don't become tamei. If they started after the animal was already charred. Okay, tomorrow night in Mitzvah Hashem Rabbi say we also have a Chumash year scheduled with Siyata D'Shmaya, which we will also start talking about Elul. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a wonderful evening.